Hey there! Welcome to Sneaking in the Green Room. I'm your host, Andrew Kushner. Each week, I get the pleasure of sitting down with some of Portland's funniest comedians. Now, let's be honest, these are some of the country's funniest comedians. Today, I got a great one. This guy has been blowing up all over this city for quite a while. He's a friend of mine. I'd like to say his material at times is funny, smart, and at times it just plain scares me. Yeah, he is Tim Ledwith. Tim!
Oh man, I don't know what to say to that intro, but thank you.
No, thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here.
No, man, I really like this. This place is cool. This place you got,
It's working, you know?
Green room.
You know, we've been doing a ton of episodes, and I want to thank everybody who's taken the time to watch. I know it's been kind of weird here and there, but it's happening.
Yeah.
But this isn't about me or the show. This is about you, Tim.
All right.
Yeah. So, talk to me. Where are you from? Where were you born?
Well, I grew up. I was born on the during a lunar eclipse on the eve of the winter solstice, and on the hallowed grounds of King Philip Metacom's War in colonial New England, southeastern Massachusetts, Plymouth. Where the genocide started.
Yeah.
The Bridgewater Triangle. But no, I grew up. Yeah, so I grew up about half hour south of Boston.
Nice.
And
So you're wicked smart.
Yeah.
That was
Oh man. I'll disregard. Irregardless, I'll disregard.
Man.
But I will. So yeah, I lived. Grew up there, and then I lived in Boston for years. Lived in New York a couple of years, and moved out here about 7 years ago.
You've been here 7 years.
Yeah, about 6.5, 7 years. Yeah.
Let's talk about Tim Ledwith's childhood. Well, I mean, we don't have to get too deep into it.
I know.
Were you a fun kid? Were you?
I was fucking. Well, my childhood was weird. I mean, like, it was filled with trauma, but I had some joy. I don't know. I was a fucked up kid.
Yeah. So
I can swear on this?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we got no censorship here.
All right. I can pull my dick out. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely censor that out.
All right, cool. Well,
yeah.
these dress pants I wore for an interview today.
You look really nice.
I know. I look nicer than normal. This is.
Well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
We did this episode like 4 months ago.
It was in a bad place.
Well, I was too. The show was called something different.
Yeah.
And I gotta be honest, you're looking great.
Yeah, a whole lot's changed in that time, but we can get to that, I guess. But I guess we'll start with what brought me to the place that I needed to do to change to the place now.
There you go.
Okay, so childhood.
Yeah.
Fucked up, trauma, whatever. But I had, I had a weird mix of some relative privilege and trauma. So. We don't need to go deep into that, but I had two loving parents, but I also had a lot of, whatever, shit happened.
Dark stuff.
Yeah. And then, I started getting fucked up pretty early and around 10 years old and on the drugs and criminality and all that sort of thing, getting locked up in juvenile facilities and mental places and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's kind of interesting because my father was a juvenile court judge.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did sentence you. It was out in Southern California.
Yeah. I was in where I said earlier, Plymouth, Massachusetts. But so I was, just a little fucking juvenile delinquent, but I always, I don't know, I had people along the way that helped me and kept me out of the shit. But I'm the only person I know that got in the sort of trouble that I did as a youth and didn't go to adult prison. So I still haven't. And I've committed enough crimes in my adulthood to put myself in prison for life. But I have never been, and I've never even been arrested as an adult. But so my youth was pretty chaotic and crazy, but I also had, people along the way and interests, and I was an intelligent child who, I am not as intelligent as I was when I was a child, probably because of the drugs.
Don't sell yourself short. You're still quick.
I tested as I think maybe like a genius when I was a child, and I am not a genius now, but I have holes in my brain. but yeah. So that was my childhood, and I don't know. I was well, I talk about it on stage. I was a teenage sex worker too. That sort of business.
Wow, you've lived. Let's be honest. I mean, that's on a lot of people's bucket lists, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Being a teenage sex worker, and guess what? When they're not a teenager anymore, you can't do it. So
it's on for me.
Yeah. You're not half the twink you used to be.
No.
You're pushing 40, right?
I never even had a shot though. That's kind of sad. I'd like to.
Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure.
There's a lot of time left.
I'm sure there was a lot of creeps out there that would have loved to pay your underage ass for all sorts of weird stuff. They would have liked it just because you were uncomfortable, no matter how ugly you were.
You're right. That would be an extra bonus.
I bet you were a sexy fucking little raver.
No, I was a fat kid, and I'll be honest, I went to a summer camp. It was a Christian summer camp.
Oh man.
All boys.
Sounds terrible.
All boys.
Yeah.
And we had to stay in these villas. That
Yeah.
were right next to the ocean, so all our shit got fucking wet every morning. Just a horrible place.
Wow.
My parents sent it was on an island.
The ocean?
Dude, they sent us away at 10 years old
Yeah.
for like a week. It became like Lord of the Flies over there.
Yeah. The Pacific Ocean?
Pacific Ocean was Catalina Island is the name.
Wow, that place that people love to go to. It's like a beautiful place.
Exactly.
The place must have sucked.
Oh man, well I'll tell you, the funny story was every single kid in my bunk got molested.
Really?
Except me. And there was a huge case, everybody got all these.
Was it one of those fucking weird ones though, where it like wasn't true, like because there was a lot of those scares in the 80s.
I think so.
This is the 80s, I imagine, right?
This was the late 80s, 1987.
So there was like a lot of those like fucking massive like scare cases
There were.
where they were like and they changed their tactics. They'd be like, "You got touched here," and the kids would be like, "Oh yeah, I got touched."
Well, I think it all got swept under the rug.
Really? So this wasn't like a public thing.
It was. It became public, but somehow, by the graces of God, it disappeared.
Yeah.
But
wait, you went to a Christian one. Oh,
I was the only Jew at this Christian camp.
Oh, maybe you are the chosen one.
It's possible. It's possible. I'll tell you a great story. Someone destroyed a Christian cross and monument at this camp during that time. I was the only Jew. So all of a sudden, there was a coup out to find the Jew who had destroyed it. Somehow they had determined it was a Jew.
That's like Passion of the Christ.
I became the best Christian ever. I was not a Jew. Nobody knew I was a Jew. I was like, find him, let's find him, let's burn him on the cross.
You're like Jesus, you're a traitor.
Oh, it was a horrible time. Do you remember that movie with Brendan Fraser where he went school ties?
Yeah, you were like school ties.
It was totally like that shit.
Oh man, I remember that movie.
Thankfully they didn't find
I had to watch that movie while I was in a facility once.
Oh man.
Yeah, we watched that movie and I remember it was when the Jewel song Hands was out, and that was playing. I remember watching the end.
How's the hands go?
Like, these hands are mine, but they're not yours. I've had three girlfriends with small hands.
Oh, boy.
Anyways.
Like real small or like Lego hand, like tiny?
No, they were small people.
Gotcha.
Their hands were highly proportionate, but they were small. So I would sing that song to them. But I connected to that movie.
Oh boy, I gotta go home and listen to the Jewel album now.
I've been listening to a lot of Jewel lately, and my neighbor doesn't like it.
Fuck them. You know?
When you play the same Jewel song 60 times in a row, they want to hear dubstep.
No, I did that. I remember back in the early 90s, I had a big crush on this girl. And it was when the Lisa Loeb song came out, Stay.
Yeah.
I bought the single.
It was on the Reality Bite soundtrack.
Exactly. Ethan Hawke, and no bullshit, I would play that song before I go to sleep and just leave it on replay.
Why?
My sister came down one day and broke the fucking tape.
Yeah, man. Well, how did the tape play on replay?
It just, you know how you had it would go on the other side, the second side, and so it had...
Oh, it had had the dub version.
It had
huh?
a remix of some sort.
Yeah.
The B-side.
Yeah, the B-side had the
Of Lisa Loeb.
it had the extended 12-inch
I think
dance version.
No, Ethan Hawke, I think, spoke over the track or something.
Oh,
No,
wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a long time.
Ethan Hawke had his own song on that soundtrack.
He did.
It was terrible.
It was.
I like him as an actor though. Some people don't. I like him.
Do you remember the movie Explorers where he was with River Phoenix and they built their own spaceship?
Yeah, it was great.
Nobody remembers that.
Yeah, I know that one. I know Ethan Hawke. He's a good guy.
Let's talk comedy.
Yeah, let's that.
When did you get an idea that you were funny?
Oh, early on, I was always making people laugh. I was small, making people laugh, and got me out of a lot of shit. I was like, and I loved comedy. I would, I would watch stand-up even as a very, very tiny child. Because my parents, they had like one of them fucking illegal cable boxes, and then like we had HBO, so I'd be watching George Carlin. I remember waking up in the middle of the night when Kids in the Hall was on HBO and just being like, what is this?
Dude, it was a trip. It was the first time seeing...
That shit still stands up, man.
It was great.
It's still better, everyone talks about the State, they talk about Mr. Show. Dude, that shit is dated. There's funny shit on that. Obviously, I love all those guys, but fucking...
No, they learned from Kids in the Hall.
Kids in the Hall still fucking weird and great, man. It's great. And so that kind of stuff shaped me. Stephen Wright, I had a tape of Stephen Wright, Richard Pryor, Chris Rock, fucking George Carlin, all that stuff.
Did you ever see the what was that? Comedy Relief? They would
Comedy Relief. I had the Comedy Relief CDs.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I had Robin Williams, all that. I loved it. And Def Comedy Jam, remember that was
Bernie Mac would come out.
Oh my god,
days, they were unreal.
Unreal, man. It was, so yeah, that kind of stuff shaped me. Stephen Wright was my favorite, and Steve Martin too. And I used to recite their stuff all the time. And
I live on a one-way dead-end street.
Oh man,
and Stephen Wright was he's a king to me.
Yeah, and a one-star man with wooden legs and real feet. I used to go to school and say that and make it like that was my joke. Yo mama jokes. Oh man, I got my head on my 10th birthday. I got kicked. I got
a good story.
I got kicked in the fucking head. I went to the school and it was a poor kind of suburban rural school, but it was there was a housing project. They put one in when I was there, and all these kids from the city had moved in and so, we're having Yo Mama Wars, and I was I took it too far. I was with some 6th graders. I was in 4th grade, my 10th birthday. I just recited the torture skit from Wu-Tang from the 36 Chambers, but I made it a Yo Mama joke, and then I got kicked I got kicked in the head with a Timberland boot.
Ooh.
So I came home, and my mom was like, "Oh my God, why?" Because I had a big egg on my head, and I said I had to tell her I fell down the stairs. It was my 10th birthday, humor was always a big. I loved comedy, In Living Color, sketch comedy, Saturday Night Live, obviously Kids in the Hall, all that shit. And I used to tape. I had fucking hundreds of tapes of Saturday Night Live, and I loved comedy. So. I'll tell you one thing. I remember one time I put on a stand-up show for my mom and my grandmother when I was really little, and I had been watching. There was a show that was on MTV or VH1 or something. It was a stand-up evening at the Improv. I remember that though. It was at Caroline's or something.
I totally remember.
Yeah, and I remember I forget who it was, but he told some joke, and he was so I was just reciting all these Steve Martin bits. The Steve Martin bit about doing a drug called Small. Makes Small about this big. I used to recite this, yeah. And but then I'm reciting this other guy's joke. It was probably it was Dice Clay or something. I don't know who it was, but he was this girl, she's always asking me, why you got your hands in your pocket? And then it's because I'm holding your lunch. Right? Now, in my mind, even though I was a filthy, traumatized kid that was really hypersexualized, I literally thought the joke would be so funny if it was no, you had a bologna sandwich in your pocket. But my mom was like, "Where did you hear that?" And I got in trouble. But yeah, but I didn't end up. I did comedy a few times in like New York and Boston, but I really like kept putting it off. I hated the feeling of being on stage initially, and I never thought that would go away. So then
was it a fear of people just not liking you?
I just didn't like I was always the funny guy in person and at parties and with people and my friends, and I was a fan of comedy, and I always had it in my head I wanted to do it, and I wanted to do it in other ways because there's other art forms that I partook in. I did a lot of like video stuff, and I was super hyper radical in my early, like when I got off of. Well, I didn't really get off of drugs, but I like.
What do you mean, like skating on ramps, radical?
No, like fucking like radical political. You know, like I graduated high school the year 9/11 happened, and I lost my virginity on 9/11 '96. But you'll
never forget that.
Yeah, I will not. They were both inside jokes. Anyway, so I was super radical, political. I was doing lots of like stuff like that, and some of that stuff I did actually like comedy based, kind of like radical, like propaganda stuff. I worked for indie media, and I was doing all sorts of stuff, but I was on a lot of Adderall. That was keeping me off all the crack and the dope. But I ended up coming out here from New York. I was working for Delta Airlines, and I'd come out here
to like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, and I'd come out here to like, all right, then I'm gonna do comedy. But then I just got really deep into meth. But I didn't live in like a meth culture. I was doing it for work, and then I started doing it inconveniently, and it ended up being like a big problem in my life. So, and fast forward to today, I'm 90-something days clean, and I'm in a recovery program, and for the first time, I've had bouts of times where I stopped, but like I'm doing like the things that. But when I first started comedy, I actually was clean from it 3 years ago, but quickly thereafter I delved deeply back into it, and people knew. It was I was like the fucking meth comic. I was always talking about it in the past tense, but I was shooting up in fucking the restroom right before I was going on stage. And then, I just started I did have some change. There was a period of time, maybe, I want to say, in 2014 where I was really spun out. You can tell if you ever see video of me from then. I learned that meth really was bad for my performance, so I stopped using it for the stage, but since I was addicted to it, I was using it.
Yeah.
So, it showed a lot less. Plus, I act, you can probably see in this interview, I act pretty similar, unless I'm really spun out, I act pretty similarly on and off meth. I'm kind of, and I did long before I ever tried it, so.
Gotcha, it's just, that's.
But I had a lot.
I've always been that kind of. I'll move.
And I lost a lot from it. I got married and I lost my wife, and a lot of shit. I had a lot of fucked up things happen in the past few years from it, and now it's been a few months, and before that few months I was minimizing my use and preparing to do this. So it's been a little bit of time now, and I love it. I feel better than I've ever felt in my life. I'm completely sober now from everything. I've been that way for 3 months now, and it's crazy.
You're a different person. You are, and it shows. I think everybody is so proud of you, and that doesn't mean shit. It's all about you and yourself, but at the same time, dude, keep crushing it, because.
Well, that's what I found. I'm way better at comedy like this.
You seem sharper, you seem.
I'm way more focused. I'm not fucking, and it's more than just on stage. Obviously, you had me on this before I got sober, I had, and I had people that thought I was, alright before then. Trevor Thorpe, I think, he gave me the best compliment the other day. He was like, I hated following you when you were on meth. Like, you know, he had to follow me after some show. I was like, oh, great, you know. But like, the thing of it is that, what's more is that, like, I have, like, more integrity right now in terms of, like, people liked having me on shows, and I was, like, you know, I could be a loose cannon, and I was pretty wild, but, like, no one thought that no one, like, was going to invest in me. Like, nobody was really going to, like, I was not somebody that was going to be trusted with anything more than just a spot on a show. And now I'm running 2 shows. One with Alex Rios at it's called Paradox. It's the last Monday of the month. My friend Vern, who does a noise music project, and we fuse the worlds of comedy, alternative comedy, and noise music. Something nobody asked for. And then I'm also running a show at the Fourth Dimension. The first show is tonight. Well, as we are filming this, I don't know when this is going to be out, but then we're hoping that this will be every other Friday or every second Friday at the Fourth Dimension Recovery Center, which is a amazing sober space for young people. That's really cool. It's like kind of the only place like it in America right now, and it's like a big event venue, and they have meetings there and stuff. But there's we get so we're hoping for really good crowds there, and I'm also doing a show at that is going to be semi-regularly, regularly at Brass Tacks, sandwich shop. Yeah, my friend owns it, my friend Amy.
I used to live right, like maybe 10 feet away.
Yeah. So she's been asking me to do a show there, so that's coming up on the 17th. But yeah, so like but for the first time ever, I feel like I can handle these things because I'm getting things in line in my life. You know, I make it seem like I went into recovery just for drugs, but I'm dealing with, like I told you, the traumatic childhood and whatever, and on whatever else I've done, the traumas I've imposed upon myself in the past, 20 fucking 2 years.
Yeah.
I'm working on those as well. So I got a team, like, thanks Obama. With OHP, I got a team of motherfuckers working with me. I got a drug counselor, a nutritionist, an acupuncturist, a mental health practitioner that deals with PTSD and addiction, and a primary care doctor, all working together on me. I love the attention. I get lots of attention. I get attention on stage. I get attention in the show. I get attention from I need it.
Yeah.
I have a God-sized hole in my heart. I don't even believe in God.
Well, Tim, dude, I mean, I gotta be honest. When I first saw you doing comedy, I was blown away still. You were hilarious. Like I said, it was scary at times. But now, you're a different dude. I mean, it's scary. The color in your face.
Well, yeah, it's weird. It was
beautiful.
It was crazy because, like I was saying, I don't act so differently as I do, like mannerisms wise. I mean, I'm a little more subdued. I'm trying to be more centered. I don't
You're making a lot more eye contact.
Yeah, shit like that, and like I'm definitely physically more subdued, even though people at home probably won't think so because I'm fucking all over the place. But
they're gonna love it.
I'll tell you, the first couple weeks into this process, I was at Alberta Pub, a great show, an open mic, a Joey and Chinderly show, Troll Yourself.
Love it.
Open mic. I was there, and I got 6 compliments on my eyes, right? And by people mostly that didn't even know what I was doing, So like, it was because that was the difference, Like I had like a liveliness in it. They weren't bulging out of my head. They weren't bloodshot from being up for 3 days, and my pupils weren't fucking black nickels. Like, and so, there's a difference. People say they meant, enough people tell me and I feel, more importantly, I feel so much differently. And so it's weird though. It's weird to go from how far deep I was to being like, considerably the most fucked up person in the Portland comedy scene. Let's be fucking honest. People talked about me like that way.
But
they were going to stage an
intervention.
intervention.
An amazing person.
Yeah.
Like, every time I would talk with you and meet you, you still ooze that love. There's something like very endearing about you. I don't know. You've just got a
thank you.
a huggable personality.
Huggable.
And you're the same person on and off the stage. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
You don't change into a different personality, and I think, I don't know, you always just, I don't know, there was a special place in my heart.
Oh,
And I always
man, I really
told
appreciate
people,
it.
I think Tim Ledwith is the funniest comedian in Portland. And if you ever get sober, I fucking worry about what's gonna happen, how insane it's gonna become. So I'm so happy for you, man. And
Well, thanks a lot, man.
I've had
I really
my
appreciate
issues.
it. Yeah, man, I know, and that's how we related originally. I remember, man. You know,
I was an addict for
Yeah.
many years. I did Xanax and
Yeah.
luckily was able to get sober.
Yeah.
I still had, my issues since then, but
Yeah.
man, just seeing people like yourself, I mean, I lost a fiance.
Yeah, I
to
remember.
overdose.
That's
So, these are, drugs it's no joke. It is a fucking disease. And I don't care what anybody says. If you know someone who's an addict, give them support. Don't yell at them to get help and get clean and sober. Be there for them.
Addicts just isolate themselves and there's a really good, I'm not a big TED Talk guy, they're kind of whatever, but there's a good one, this guy, he talks about everything you know about addiction is wrong, and mainly his point is that, just addicts need love and support.
Exactly.
You
don't have to want it yourself.
You have to. If they needed to want it themselves, but addicts isolate themselves anyway. So if you're just gonna you're gonna threaten them with further isolation, it ain't gonna work.
They'll run as fast as they can when
Yeah.
that happens. I also wanted to ask you about comedy.
Yes.
Let's discuss drugs and comedy. Because for you, let's just say writing-wise, since you've gotten sober, do you find it easier, or let's?
Well, I'll be honest. I don't write anything, and I never have. I should, because I do from the drugs. I have holes in my brain and my memory. See, I've always prided myself on my memory. My memory has been and it's still it's definitely not. I used to have a photographic memory, like when I mentioned when I was a genius child. Now it is. I don't, but I've never written out jokes. I don't do that. I just.
But again, you're 3 months. You're 90 days into being sober. Do you think? I feel like your brain is gonna definitely regrow, and you're gonna start to.
But even when I wasn't sober, I remember. My memory is. It's not as good as it was when I was a child, but it's better than almost fucking everybody I know who's that wasn't doing as much damage to their brain as me. I just have a good memory, so I also I'm also fucking lazy. That's another thing. So I don't write things down. But also there is a certain method to that. I heard Bill Burr talking once, and he was actually referencing this local Boston comedian, this old-time Boston comedian named Tony Z. And I guess, because Bill Burr used to not write things down, and he was talking about when he was early starting, how your jokes are really precious, and you need, and this guy Tony Z told him, just don't write them that, just remember them. And he was like, well, if I don't remember them, then I'm not gonna, because you don't have as much material. And I guess Tony Z, and this is Bill Burr saying, but Tony Z said, he said, well, if you can't remember it, then it wasn't important enough to remember. So, granted, I should be writing more down, or at least, it has helped me. I'll tell you, the few times I have written things down and tried to go off the script on stage or brought a notebook on stage, fucked me up.
Yeah.
I should have more of a plan sometimes than I do, but for the most part, I don't write. But what I do is I walk around, I walk a lot, and I recite things in my head over and over again. And I look like it, it's Portland. Everyone looks fucking insane here. So I walk around on the streets, mouthing things. Yeah, man, I'm just walking in the rain. I'll walk to a fucking open mic. I'll walk to a show as opposed to taking the bus. I don't have a car, and I just I look like one of those crazy people in the street, and I just mouth my fucking material over and over again.
This is each comedian is different.
Yeah. Some people, everyone has a different process of how they do things. I wish I had a little bit more of that discipline. I'm starting to gain more discipline just in other avenues, but I should be writing things down because as I get older and whatever damage I've done to my brain and whatever, it's just, and the amount of material I've generated over the past 3 years, I can't possibly continue to remember everything. And I do find myself on stage sometimes forgetting things and then just filling it with fucking go-to shit that I shouldn't be. And then I get off stage and I'm like, oh, god damn it, I forgot. I should have done the other thing, you know? And you know, so but you know, I think it was important for me to learn that way and to start out that way. I think Jason Traeger, local, yeah, one of my favorite people in town, just people in general, and comedians, but also a lot of other arts that he's a Renaissance man, that guy, but and just a solid human being, but. He said, like, he was talking about, and I did this not in an official way, but he did it, like, kind of in an official way, where he was just going out every night and doing something different for, like, a year. Yeah. Now, I did that, but that year is lost to me, and I wish I had recorded some of it, because people would tell me what I did, and I wasn't even there for it. I'm like, that sounds funny!
Oh, boy.
But...
I mean, it's been fun watching the progression. I mean, not fun for you, but I guess just it gives me happiness.
Well, I have fun.
Anybody.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean,
I love watching.
It's fun.
I like watching like, you know, some of you guys that are like newer. Like, you got a little crew of guys that kind of started around the same time that are really fucking doing good and doing well. Marcus Coleman, Daniel, Kyle, yeah. You guys are great, and it's good to, like, you guys, you know, there's a difference between you and some of the other people that, you know, are around the same time. Even, quite frankly, people that are, you know, have more time than you, that don't put in that fucking work, that you know, I watched you guys progress, and you guys did everything right. You grinded, you went out, you did your thing, and you watched other people, and you paid attention, as opposed to just expected things, and then just thought, you know, and there's a dramatic difference in what you and some of those guys, I think, in my opinion, look like now that than when you started, but then also from like some of your other peers that you know started when you did, or even honestly like fucking before, you know, fucking some people that are been doing it longer than me.
You know, it's a process, and I'm learning every day. At no point am I feeling like I'm doing this.
Yeah. See, once you do that, once you do that, and you just I mean, I'm new. I consider myself fucking new at this, but it's like there's just so many people in Portland doing comedy that you know, it's like senior. You get, I mean, there is like seriously 10 times the amount of people doing comedy in Portland from when I only started, only like 3 to 4 years ago. No, and then it was like, and when I started, 3 years before I started, there were like fucking 10 people doing it.
Well, yeah, it's amazing. The community right now is just, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. There's great people every day I see. I mean, like, every time I go out, I see somebody new that I didn't notice before. That's really great, and it's like I don't know how there's going to be enough space for all of it, but it's great. I love it. It's all a good thing to me. Yeah. You know, and there's a lot of unique voices I really like, and just like good people. You know, there's a lot of drama that goes down. There's always going to be. I try to stay out of it. There's people obviously I don't care for, and there's people that you know, have done things that I don't really agree with, and whatever, and you know, personal differences. But for the most part, people are cool, man. I enjoy going out, and I mean, I enjoy the time off the stage and on the stage. You know, like with a lot of people. You know, some of the, you know, like, it is important though, I think, I should say, like, because I don't fucking, I mean, I'm not in any place to give any advice, and I don't give any advice about comedy, because I heard so much fucking bullshit advice when I started that, like, I'm glad I didn't listen to. But, and everyone does their thing differently. I definitely had a different, you know, there's so many variables. But one thing, you know, like one thing I would say is if you are starting out in comedy and do not make only comedians your only social circle, or you know, because that is that's bad. You know, like have a life outside of comedy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please.
Tim, dude, this has been amazing.
Yeah.
We've already we've flown through. We could do another hour. I'm sure.
I mean, this has been great. This is so much better than the first time. I was in such a bad spot then too.
Hey, you know what? You're amazing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it.
It's not just me, the whole community is. We're all just, you know, blown away by what you've been doing. You're a hero to a lot of people. There's a lot of addicts out here. No, there's a lot of addicts who could, you know, take a lot.
I'm holding out for a hero. The morning light.
Well, where can we find you if we wanted to be friends with Tim Ledwith?
Friend me on Facebook, man. I'm Tim Ledwith on Facebook. I'm also on Twitter at Tim Ledwith.
And your show again that you're hosting?
Paradox with Alex Rios, in featuring music by EMS. Eat My Shit, Eat My Shorts. That is every last Monday of the month at the High Water Mark at 9 p.m. And then also at Fourth Dimension Recovery Center, 9:30 on. Just look me up, and hopefully that's gonna. I have a feeling that's going to be a regular thing. That's called the Parallel Dimension Comedy Showcase, and you can see me all around town. And also, I also have a Tumblr. It's not very well updated, but there's a lot of old and weird shit on it. That's timwithcomedy.tumblr.com. And you know, I don't know, I'm on Instagram or something. Yeah.
You're the man. Hey,
no, you're the man.
Also, this jacket, the starter, dude, that is some sick gangsta shit right there.
Dude, I had this jacket when I was younger, and there's a picture of me on fucking Santa's lap. Full Raiders gear, you know, like LA Raiders, not fucking Oakland Raiders either.
No, I had a Seattle Seahawks starter parka. The one,
yeah.
I got robbed at Knife Point.
Really? You got robbed at Knife Point?
By an Armenian Street Gang. Oh yeah, they took it.
Oh my god.
But hey, we're gonna get out of here.
Yeah.
Thank you again, folks. This has been an amazing episode of Sneaking in the Green Room. Go out and see Tim Ledwith. He's an amazing person, amazing comedian.
Thank you. I'm halfway deep. I'm not that great.
Dude, thanks for tuning in. We'll see ya.
Thanks. Hey, that was a good episode.
Hey, good.
Dude, an Armenian